Hello class, this is your teacher Mr. Hazing, and tonight we're going to continue our series on genre writing. Now, before we get into the next genre we're going to be working on, I would like you to kind of just think about what's your favorite form of entertainment. Are there any movies out there you really love? The image I currently have up on the screen is a couple of plot maps of a few movies I really enjoyed in my childhood and then as an adult as well. These movies, if you think about the parts that really kind of stick with you, the parts that you remember years later, is it usually the action for you, or is it the dialogue? Is it the character interactions? Now, for the upcoming genre writing that we're going to be talking about, what I want you to think about are character interactions. These images that are up on your screen are character maps of when the characters in the movie are together. As you can see, much of the movie occurs when multiple characters are together, when they're interacting. That's where the drama comes from. That's where the memorable scenes arise from. Now, today, the genre we're going to be speaking about is script writing. Without the script, without the writer who creates the script, none of these movies would have the kind of well-paced, well-put-together character interactions that make them memorable. The job of the script is to perform as the backbone for the writing that is to occur. The scriptwriter will provide the dialogue, they'll provide some basic characterization, they'll provide some of the action. Your job as a scriptwriter is not to plot out where everyone's going to move. It's not to plot out every action every character takes. The actors will be allowed to have their own little spin on the characters. Your job as the writer, as the person who's going to produce the script, is to make sure that they have a good foundation to build off of. A solid one with good reasoning, good purpose, and well-written, easy to follow. That's what we'll be working on in class. Alright, and now the image that is on your screen should be the same image as the handout I gave you last class period. This handout is a sample script. This is the general layout you're going to want to use when you produce a script, and the dialogue that you see in the script is actually an explanation of the conventions of script writing. If you need to study it further or reread it later, you can always pause the video and read it there. I will go through the elements of script writing here right quick over the spoken aspect. Now, scripts are unique amongst the genres that we're going to be speaking about in class because scripts are a tool. A script is not simply written for the message the script gets across, because many people will not read the script. What the script does is set up the story for the actors to play out, and for the director to create the action of. As a scriptwriter, you are not the sole creative member of this act. You are one of the baseline ones, you're one of the most important ones, you create the background of the experience, but this is a collaborative tool. So what you're going to focus on as a scriptwriter are the three main parts of script writing: setting, which is where the action is supposed to take place; dialogue, which is the bulk of what you'll be working on, which is the speeches between characters and other interactions, nonverbal; and then the third part is blocking, which you will do less of than the director will do, but you still have to provide important motions. Like, if it's important that someone scratches their ear or something to show that they're uncomfortable in a situation, that's the kind of information you may include in the script so that the actors have something to work off of. Now, as script writing is a tool, you want to make sure you follow this very standardized form. Because what's going to happen is the actors are going to need to read the script, they're going to need to memorize it, and the easiest way for them to do that is if it is in the format that they're used to reading, and that it is clean and organized. I will go over here a few of the features that help with this. You can read the dialogue on your own, at your own pace. It just gives more outlines. You will start each scene in bold, where I highlighted, that will tell the actor what scene's being worked on, because when you are working on practicing the play, they will have to move between scenes, in which case it's good for everyone to be on the same starting point. Next, you have stage directions, which are provided in italics throughout the script in order to explain important details such as setting, plot, or tone-significant character movement, or pauses in action or dialogue. Essentially, anything that's in italics is never going to be spoken by someone in the play. It is solely for direction. Next, you'll have the character's actual dialogue. You'll want to have that their full name capitalized before each instance of their dialogue, so that it's easy to tell where your dialogue is in the script. You want to justify everything in the same columns, have these same indents right here, so that no lines get mixed together, so that you have discrete blocks of text. And other than that, if a character leaves, then you need to include that in your stage directions in italics. Like right down here where characters 1 through 3 exit. This is some blocking, which is also done in italics. Blocking is movement on the stage. So character 1 turns toward the audience and frowns. Now the actor himself would be the one who would determine how he felt like doing that, but you are just giving them a little nudge in the right direction. Now, when we get into class tomorrow, what I want you to think about before we get to class is, who is the person you would most want to meet in the world? You know, just who is your idol? Who would you love to speak with? And then just think of some things you think you would talk about, how he would respond, and we'll talk some more about this when we get into class tomorrow. You have yourself a nice night, and goodbye.